YouTubers that became murderers. Good thing I'm not on this, am I right, guys? All right, yeah. Cap. Do I give y'all the vibes of somebody that's like low-key mentally unstable? Number one, why so solid? I believe that. I don't? Okay, good. Bro, whenever I see somebody like do like a crazy mass crime, like a mass like shooting, and they just have like a normal history, I'm like, bro, there's no fucking way. Like, there is no motherfucking way this person is normal. Like, I'm pretty sure for like the Las Vegas shooter back in 2018, they said like bro was just like a regular civilian that went to work and he just did it. I'll be seeing shit like that. I'm like, bro, how the fuck is that possible? Like, it's crazy. There's really regular civilians. You probably have walked past somebody, a regular civilian that did like a crazy crime, like a murder. I think all of us have at least walked past somebody that has done a murder or is going to do a murder in the future. I can't imagine me just like taking the life from somebody. Like, you really got to think of it. You're alive and you're taking like the life from somebody innocent, right? Daniel Tiger is a bitch. See, that's completely valid though. Like, Daniel Tiger is like on site. Like, we can slime him out. Yeah, let's go ahead and see this though.
Suzanne Eaton was a 59-year-old American scientist who was working as a professor of molecular biology in Dresden, Germany. A big part of her job at this institute was to travel around the world and hold conferences on the latest developments in her field. In July of 2019, she traveled to the scenic Greek island of Crete for one of these conferences, not knowing that this was going to be her last, and that the person responsible for her end would be caught because of his videos on YouTube.
Damn.
The incident happened on July 2nd, when, after a conference, Suzanne spent time with her peers and played the public piano in the venue's lobby before saying her goodbyes and heading out to her hotel in the afternoon. Sadly, this was the last time anyone saw Suzanne alive. Her coworkers noticed her absence when she didn't show up for the second conference scheduled for 6 p.m. that evening. It wasn't like her to skip events out of the blue. Something wasn't right. A fact that became increasingly clear when over 24 hours passed without anyone hearing from her. So on July 3rd, her colleagues called the police to check on her, hoping she was simply sick or something similar. However, when officers arrived at her hotel room, no one answered the door. They acquired a spare key from the hotel management and went inside, only to find the room completely empty and undisturbed. All of Suzanne's belongings were also still in the room. The only things missing were her running shoes and a set of exercise clothes. Those who knew her immediately understood what this meant.
Oh my god, so she was jogging and got murked. Damn, that's sad.
You see, in addition to her academic prowess and piano expertise, Suzanne was also an athlete at heart. She was a double black belt in Taekwondo, and despite her age, loved going on a run every day. Knowing this helped investigators narrow down what might have happened to her. Put simply, she likely went on a run soon after returning to her hotel on July 2nd, and something went wrong after that. She wasn't super familiar with the area, and to make matters worse, the weather was uncomfortably hot that afternoon. There was a strong possibility she collapsed from the heat or something else along those lines. After putting this together...
Yeah, no, off topic, but like, bro, I can't even run in like Texas either, bro, because the heat here's fucking terrible. Like, it's still 90 degrees, by the way. Y'all, keep in mind, it's September. Like, most states, East Coast, West Coast, wherever, unless if you're in like a really hot state, most states cool down by now. It's literally still 90 degrees. They be saying it's supposed to be cooling down, bro. But I don't know. I can't wait until fall. Hey guys, Tom NFG here. You know, only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on. I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it. You know, it doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams. You know, we have a lot of fun over there. I'm telling you, we have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Damn. Bro, it's September. I feel like by now it should have cooled down, bro. By next month it should, because I was here when it was like colder. And I'm pretty sure that was probably October, maybe.
The Crete police immediately dispatched a search and rescue team in the area surrounding her hotel and around popular running trails. Her family even traveled to Crete and put a 50,000 euro reward for anyone who could help find Suzanne. Unfortunately, Suzanne was nowhere to be found. That is until 5 days later, on July 8th.
Yo, this looks so creepy. What is going on here? Dude, this looks like the last thing you see before you're sacrificed.
When two young men were exploring one of the abandoned World War II Nazi bunkers scattered across Crete, around 200 meters.
Oh, I think, did her body get left there? Okay, regardless, before I play this, nigga, I'd be damn, bro, if I ever, like, look at some shit like that. Because first off, bro, I already know some type of, like, evil souls live here. And I do not need to be around that. Like, hell no. I feel like you go there, bro, you gonna hear, like, whispers of demons and shit. All types of different things. It's just gonna be bad energy. And the fact that it's abandoned too, I never go to a Yahtzee bunker yet. I know there should be some demons living there.
Meters in, one of them noticed a piece of burlap covering something on the ground. They picked it up from one end to see what was underneath. And what they found was the aftermath of one of the most horrific crimes in Crete's recent history. The burlap was covering the bloody remains of Suzanne Eaton. A later autopsy report discovered that Suzanne had several broken ribs, multiple fractures throughout her body, a missing ear, and much more.
A missing ear? Bro, this dude is sick.
Whatever happened to her certainly was not an accident. The investigators began searching for clues, and fortunately it didn't take long for them to make their first major breakthrough: a set of car tire tracks leading up to the entrance of the bunker. Analyzing these tracks allowed investigators to find the car responsible for transporting Suzanne's remains to that bunker. It belonged to 27-year-old Yanis Paraskakis, a local sheep farmer. But when questioned, Yanis feigned ignorance and claimed that him driving through that area on that day was nothing more than a coincidence. He went as far as to say that he didn't even know about the existence of that bunker, a lie that would eventually lead to his arrest.
Oh, and he had YouTube videos on it?
You see, Yanis had a dream to become a
Tommy, would you explore it for $5 million? It doesn't matter even if it was a quote-unquote safe one. Hell no.
Successful YouTuber. He started a channel with his own name in 2012 and began posting videos. However, if you go to his channel today, all you'll find are 3 videos of him performing an ancient Chinese martial art and meditation technique called Qigong. That's because a couple days before Suzanne's body was discovered, Yanis deleted every other video on his channel. And once authorities recovered some of these deleted videos, it became clear why. You see, most of these deleted videos involved Yanis exploring abandoned World War II bunkers, including the one where Suzanne's remains were discovered. This contradiction gave the—
Bro, a nigga with that type of hobby, bro, like, we had to expect him to do some type of crime. Out of all places to visit abandoned hospitals, buildings, bro's hobby is visiting abandoned goddamn Nazi bunkers. The bad energy was gonna rub off of him just being in those. Bro, you was not Tomb Raider, like, out of all places, man.
Authorities the go-ahead to formally arrest him on July 15. It also allowed them to investigate him further, and the evidence they discovered was overwhelming. As it turned out, the land where this bunker was located was owned by Yanis's family. Investigators also found traces of Suzanne's blood in his car's trunk. When confronted with this evidence, Yanis cracked and told the whole story. According to him, he saw Suzanne running down the road and something came over him. He hit her with his car twice before putting her in his car, driving to the bunker and ending her life there. He later changed his story to where he was compelled—
Yo, human beings are scary. What the fuck you mean he was just like, he just felt some type of rage and did it? Like, no reason, an innocent person. Something obviously is wrong with him mentally.
Held to commit this crime by a demon. Unfortunately for him, the jury didn't buy this one.
He said a demon. What'd I say, bro? What the f did I say? I'm telling you, bro. Being in a place like that, there is no way you are a sane person, bro. There is some demons in that shit that's gonna attach to you. I'm not surprised.
One bid and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2020.
Yeah, you
now,
clown. This
should have been the end of Yanis' story, but from what I've seen, there's more to his actions than just this one crime he was convicted of. The thing is, Yanis presented his vile act as a crime of opportunity, something he did completely out of nowhere. However, there's evidence to suggest that Yanis might be a full-blown serial killer. For instance, he was apparently detained by the police twice before, once for arson and once for animal cruelty, both of which are well known.
They always say it's a well sign. Somebody that like tortures animals and abuses animals, most likely to become like a serial killer. You just gotta be such a fucked up person, bro. Like, yeah, I remember the time when I was younger in Ethiopia, bro, and they just like killed a fucking lamb. They just slick cause like, feel me, niggas gotta eat. Hey, you eat meat too before you're like, oh, that's cruel. All y'all eat chicken, meat, whatever. That's how they get done. But I remember when I was younger there, bro, they just— and that was the most sane way to do it because they couldn't do it any other way. Other than, I guess, the gun thing. Like, you know the gun thing where they just— like, I don't like seeing it. I know I be eating, like, meat and stuff. I don't like seeing it. But, man, I also remember seeing, like a motherfucking lobster being put in a pot and alive. And I was like, damn, this is fucked up. I felt fucked up watching. But, yeah, I don't want to watch it. I'm still going to eat, though.
Early behaviors of serial—
worth the food? We're so fucked up as human beings.
Killers. After his arrest, several other women also came forward, testifying that he had tried to run them over with his car as well in the past. So, Suzanne was more than likely not his first victim. However, the most solid evidence against Yanis is in one of the deleted videos he uploaded to YouTube. In it, we can see him showing some very human-looking bones scattered throughout the same bunker Suzanne was discovered in. These bones were never discovered by the authorities, suggesting they might have been removed by Yanis to hide evidence.
Hello? Please do your fucking jobs? Please tell me they found them. Please tell me they found the bones. There was no way they didn't find them.
But what makes this truly disturbing is what his friend says at one point in the same video.
What does that mean?
This roughly translates into, "Is this where you left that old guy?"
Yo, this is the most clear crime record I've ever seen.
insinuating that Giannis had disposed of one of his previous victims in the same bunker before. And if that is the case, one can only wonder how many other people Giannis has killed over the years.
Lock him up? He's already locked up. But I'm saying more for like, how did they not find the old guy, like you said, or the bones or anything? What the fuck they got going on? Greek, I don't know. But like, dude, y'all gotta lock in, bro. I feel like at least in the US, bro, they would have found her, had like an investigation open for people to check what the fuck.
Simply Manic 6075 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by 24-year-old Samantha Wolford.
On video too?
She lived in the small community of Monticello, Texas with her husband Ernest Lee Ibarra, aka Ernie, and their 5 children. She usually made videos about her day-to-day life and other random topics. Her story began in 2008 when she was at the lowest point of her life. She'd recently become the single mother of a pair of twins and had no love interest in her life. That's when she met Ernie at a local tattoo shop, and the two hit it off right from the get-go, eventually getting in a
meeting at a tattoo shop is diabolical. I've heard a lot of places, but damn.
Relationship and starting a family together. In one of her videos, Samantha described the day she met Ernie as the happiest day of her life. Together, they were blessed with 3 more children, including 1 more pair of twins. Raising 5 kids was a challenge, but Ernie made it work by taking a second job in pizza.
5 kids is fucking insane. I will never understand people that are low income that have like 5 or 10 kids. I just don't understand it, bro. No, you're not gonna be able to financially provide for them well, you feel me? Especially if the government assistant don't want to step up for you. Like, God forbid you're in a place where like government assistance is like ass, you're cooked.
The delivery.
So
while they had endured tough times together, Samantha, Ernie, and their 5 children appeared to be the perfect loving family. However, while being a stay-at-home mother,
this is so old, bro. Their kids are probably like teenagers now, or like maybe older.
There was all she could do at the time. Samantha still had a dream of becoming a famous actress one day.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be an actress. I think it is so much fun. I've been extras in movies. I've had small parts in like short films. It is so much fun, and it is so beautiful. It is one of the most amazing forms of art ever, to be able to express yourself that way. I think it's amazing.
So, in October 2010, she created her YouTube channel and started posting videos, hoping to become a popular YouTuber and fulfill her dream on the internet instead. And things were going surprisingly okay in the beginning. Samantha would post new videos whenever she had something new to say.
This is such simple YouTube, bro. You just posted videos with some random shit and people would watch.
And while most of her videos struggled to get past 100 views at the time, the few viewers she had were enough to keep her going. But as time passed on, her passion for making videos turned into an obsession. She started spending more of her time on making videos than her family, putting even
Is that a cigarette or weed? What's going on
more
here?
pressure on an already stressed
Either way, bro, if you got kids, you should not be smoking.
down Ernie. Around 2014, she also started accusing Ernie of hurting her in her videos, hinting at just how bad their relationship was going.
Wow.
But then, after posting a seemingly random video in March of 2014, Samantha mysteriously vanished from the internet. Maybe she lost interest in YouTube or just wanted to focus on her family again. No one knew exactly why she quit so abruptly. Then, on the 20th of February 2015, viewers finally received the update they were waiting for. Unfortunately, it was far more tragic than anyone could have imagined. It started with the Texas police receiving a call from one of Samantha's aunts asking them to save her niece's life.
Cause County 911, what's your emergency? I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up.
She is tied up and gagged.
And gagged? Is that what
Yes,
you said?
ma'am.
Is there anybody else there?
Or where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep.
Apparently, 3 masked men broke into their home in the middle of the night and attacked the couple while they were asleep. The intruders then tied Samantha in her bedroom, and after hitting him with a gun a few times, kidnapped Ernie. Samantha somehow managed to get her ties loose enough to call her aunt, who then contacted the police after arriving at Samantha's home herself. By the time officers arrived, Samantha's aunt had set her free from the restraints. The kids were fortunately safe.
Yo, that's actually scary, bro. Home crimes like that, like mass men breaking in and stuff like that, that's actually not that common. Like, usually they come in when like nobody's home. They try to like see when nobody's home. That's the scariest fear. Like just having like a bunch of mass dudes just come to your house and trying to rob you.
Safe as well. However, what made this whole situation strange was that the intruders didn't take anything else from their home besides Ernie. And from the people who knew him personally, Ernie wasn't the type of guy to make enemies with dangerous people. Put simply, investigators sensed something fishy with the whole situation. But all that paled in comparison to the main objective, which was to save Ernie as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Samantha didn't know anything that could give investigators their first clue. With no other option, the officers took Samantha to the station for further questioning, hoping to extract any useful information they could from her. But what
there is no way she did it, bro.
None of them expected was that Samantha would change up her story completely after entering the interrogation room. Where before she didn't know anything about the assailants, now she had the name of a potential suspect, John Rebel. As Samantha's story goes, she was talking to her friend about Ernie's supposed attacks on Samantha, when suddenly a man with the pseudonym John Rebel overheard their conversation and started talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way and that he was going to handle the situation. Well, as it turned out, the name John Rebel actually belonged to someone, a man named Jonathan Sanford. The police found and arrested John not long after Samantha gave out his name, right alongside his two accomplices, Jose Ponce and Octavius Rhymes. Surprisingly, Jonathan put up little to no resistance and immediately confessed to kidnapping Ernie.
Oh, okay. My bad, lady. I don't know. This was all like looking like it was leading to her lying.
He also confirmed the worst possible outcome, that by the time the police got involved, Ernie was already dead. The three took him to a secluded forest and executed him with one shot to the back of
Bro, that's so sick.
his head. However, even after learning all this, one question remained. Why? Why would three men who didn't even know Ernie kidnap him from his home like that? Every answer to this question...
Oh my god. Was I pre-shooting too far of apologizing? Don't tell me she hired them.
Then pointed back to Samantha, who kept denying any involvement. Even if the investigators ignored her suddenly remembering the perpetrator's name, there were several other suspicious aspects to her story. Like, how was she able to untie herself enough to call her aunt? Why didn't any of her neighbors hear the break-in? And why were the kids all sleeping in the same room, when usually they're scattered throughout the house? It wasn't long.
That is very random. That's why I was saying, like, three masked men just like breaking in a random house is very random. Usually when that happens, it's like they're just robbing somebody they know. It's like a neighbor or something like that. It's not just like a random person.
Before investigators uncovered undeniable evidence of her direct involvement. This included instruction messages she sent to Octavius when the officers were trying to call Ernie's phone, which he had on him.
So they didn't snitch? Yeah, I would have been singing. Them niggas tripping. I would have been like, yeah, she hired me to pay me this much. Like, what?
These read, kill his phone, shut that down, ditch phone, move. There was no doubt about it at this point. Samantha was in colluding with her husband's killers. And as the investigation went on, the real story came out as well. Samantha had apparently become addicted to the idea of becoming a famous YouTuber, and her neglect of the kids became a constant source of fighting between the couple. But instead of resolving the issue like a responsible adult, Samantha colluded with her friend's boyfriend.
Bro, she should have made a family channel. Boom. Clearly her views wasn't crazy or anything, but like family channels to me, whenever I see it's like instant money, bro. They be getting fame in like a couple months.
To hatch a cartoonishly evil...
I don't think that was a thing yet in 2014. You don't think family channels was a thing? It was 100% a thing. It wasn't as like much of a machine as it is now. Like nowadays, family channels, it's like a whole machine. People know the algorithm, how it works. But people was definitely doing that, bro, back then.
Scheme to get rid of Ernie. They first wanted to plant hard drugs in his car and get him arrested, but later made the heartless decision.
But then, yeah, they would have easily got caught doing that.
That taking his life would be much easier. There's also a chance that Samantha went with the murder plan because it would have brought her more attention on YouTube.
What is this? Is she like locked up and she's writing this to the police watching the cam?
She was eventually sentenced to 149 years in prison for killing her own husband, leaving her 5 children completely orphaned in the process.
Oh my god, that's so sad, bro. Kids don't got a motherfucking father, and then now she's never gonna be in their life, bro. That's what I be saying, bro. Like, there's no point in you having kids. Like, this is just absolutely like reckless decisions. Literally no parents. Her kids, they're not even gonna remember her because they all look like pretty young, right, from the videos. They're gonna have to see their mom in jail. That's the only way they can talk. She's gonna be out in 138 years, bro. What even is that, bro? Like fucking 2140?
That's
crazy.
Diana Lovejoy was a successful technical writer living in the town of Carlsbad, California with her husband Greg Mulvihill. However, while her corporate job paid the bills, Diana's true passion was becoming a triathlon athlete and documenting her journey on video, resulting in her eventually starting her own fitness blog called Lovejoy Fitness and a YouTube channel by the name of Heavy DJ. She started this channel all the way back in 2008 and over the years used it to document various parts of her life. From meeting her parents after a long time to going scuba diving with her husband. At one point, she even tried to become a cooking show host of sorts.
Doesn't that smell nice?
Unfortunately, her channel never really took off, forcing her to eventually cut her losses and move on with her life in March of 2012. Or at least that's what it looked like from the outside. In reality, Diana's reason for abandoning her YouTube channel was kind of wholesome. You see, Diana and Greg had been trying for a baby for years by this point. Tragically, Diana had suffered 8 different miscarriages and was quick.
Oh my god! 8 miscarriages? Yo, I don't wish that on anybody. What the fuck? That's actually so sad, bro.
Quickly losing hope. But then in September of 2012, the two were blessed with a perfectly healthy baby boy, marking an end to their struggle. However, what should have been a moment of celebration started a downward spiral of lies and betrayals, eventually culminating in an assassination attempt. Things started going downhill when just a few months after the birth of their son, Greg lost his job, leaving Diana as the sole breadwinner. The stress of the previous miscarriages, combined with the crushing weight of having to support a family in an extremely expensive city all on her own, spelled disaster for their marriage. It wasn't long before the two were
bro couldn't find a job or something around. Like, I feel like, okay, let's say I'm in this scenario with my wife. I lose, like, my job. Even if I have to, bro, like, I'm gonna have to provide with my kids, bro. I think that's just the masculinity for me. I don't know. Like, if I gotta get a job working at McDonald's, it is what it is, bro. I'm gonna do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for like a month or two. Like, I feel like it's very selfish though to like just kind of be like lazy, and especially you have a kid and you're on like your wife's income, bro.
Constantly fighting with each other. Things escalated even further on July 9, 2014, when Greg returned home only to see a police officer waiting for him at the door. The officer explained that Greg wasn't allowed to enter his own home because, as it turned out, Diana had accused him of attacking both her and their son. What followed was a nearly 2-year-long divorce mediation, during which the investigators found no evidence supporting Diana's accusations, allowing Greg to get a 50-50 custody of their son. Diana was also ordered to—
He only got 50-50 even though she lied? I can't stand family court. Family court makes no fucking sense. It should have been an immediate no, she can't see her kids after lying about her husband, like, hitting their kid. One-sided? Yes, the problem with family court, bro. A lot of times it is one-sided.
To pay $120,000 as a part of their divorce settlement in late 2015. But before the divorce could be finalized, Greg received a phone call from an anonymous number that changed everything. The voice on the other end claimed to be a private investigator Diana had hired recently. And according to this investigator, he already had solid proof of the attack claims Diana had made against Greg. But for some unknown reason, he wanted to help Greg win the case, so he claimed to have left the documents taped to a power pole located on a small hiking trail.
First off, if I'm getting a random call from a nigga talking about some bullshit, I'm not going. Or if I'm going with like 5 or 10 people. I'm absolutely not going to this alone.
Trail near Greg's home. Greg naturally found this whole thing pretty suspicious and decided to take one of his friends with him to the pole.
Okay. Oh, did they get him and his friend?
On the night of September 4th, 2016. Sadly, despite his suspicions, he failed to grasp the true intentions of this strangely helpful private detective.
Hello, this is 911.
Yeah. My friend has just been shot.
Do you know who shot him?
There's a guy lying down like a sniper.
A sniper? Did you see him at all?
What?
Briefly, we saw the gun, and he shot at us like 6 or 7 times.
When Greg reached the pole, a sniper opened fire on him, shooting him clean through the chest. Fortunately, the bullet missed his heart by mere inches, giving him a second chance at life. By the time the police arrived, the shooter had already fled the crime scene. But a quick survey of the area allowed the investigators to uncover a pair of towels the shooter left behind. Running a DNA test on these towels led to a man named Weldon McDavid, Diana's shooting instructor. Weldon tried to deny any involvement at first.
So she just hired her shooting instructor? Niggas is motherfucking so dumb. Like, why are people so stupid? Like, money is actually like, oh my god, it's insane. Not even like a random assassin off of eBay or something. She just went to her shooting instructor, was like, all right, go ahead and shoot him. Go ahead and take out my husband, I'll give you like 10K.
But the evidence against him was overwhelming, as after a thorough search, investigators were able to find another set of the same towels at Diana's place as well. They had also received CCTV footage of Diana buying the burner phone Weldon later used to lure Greg into the secluded area. Most importantly, investigators also found the gun Weldon used on Greg, hidden in the rafters of his garage. By this point, it was clear that Diana was the one who wanted to get rid of Greg, likely to avoid paying the divorce settlement and keep full custody of her son. Diana and Weldon were arrested for the attempted assassination on Greg Mulvihill and tried for their crimes in November 2017. Both were found guilty, with Diana sentenced to 26 years to life and Weldon to
26 years. I guess because she didn't actually like. Wait, how did the other girl get 140? Other girl got 140, but she got 26, and they both hired people.
A harsher 50 years to life. The only silver lining in this entire case is that Greg was able to make a full recovery and is now.
Let me go. See? And guess what? This all would have been solved if family court did their job. Family court, all you had to do was see, the mom in this scenario was faking allegations on the man. Maybe she is not fit to even have 50-50. Maybe the dad should get full custody. Or maybe she should get supervised custody where he has to be there, right? She's watching the kids. Like, come on, man.
Living with his son. The Gunnar Runar 87.
Why? It's not even like Gunnar. It just sounded like Gunnar. Bro has one video. Can we call this a YouTuber?
Channel on YouTube seems oddly wholesome at first glance. It's owned by an Icelandic boy named Gunnar Runar Sigthorsson and contains a single 3.5-minute video of him confessing his feelings to the girl he loves. The title.
Oh no. If you're a dude insane enough to make a video confessing your love to a girl on the internet, you're insane enough to take out that person.
Translates to English as My Confession to Hildur. In it, he says things like,
special human being I've ever. That's so creepy, bro. That's so creepy, bro. This is not Riz. This is the type of shit you say when you're making like wedding vows, you know what I'm saying? This in the beginning is crazy, bro. You don't even know she want to go out with you. I'm so incredibly happy only being close to her. That's all it takes, and this is meant for you. So I think I've fallen in. Oh no.
However, this seemingly heartfelt love letter turned out to be the key to solving one of the most horrific crimes in recent Icelandic history. Okay. And it all led back to Gunnar and the troubled.
I was about to say, you're doing a crime in Iceland, bro? Like, that's like the Cupertino of lands. Icelands, Greenlands, and nothing really be going on there. They just be living their lives.
Life he had as a child. You see, Gunnar didn't have a mother growing up, resulting in him getting extremely close with his father. However, on the night of September 20th, 1996, when Gunnar was just 9 years old, his father decided to end it all using a gun. What made this already messed up situation even worse was the fact that Gunnar was in the room with his father and witnessed everything.
Oh my god. Yeah, certain people you don't understand how they got insane, and certain people you're like, yeah. You can see why they went fucking insane. Not to excuse whatever the fuck he did, bro. 'Cause he's a terrible person and garbage human being. But yeah, man, that's just awful, bro. If you're the dad and you're gonna do that, bro, why would you do it around your kid? Oh, that's just way worse.
Unsurprisingly, this took a heavy toll on Gunnar's mental health. He withdrew from the world and refused to accept his father's death as reality. Everything seemed hopeless for Gunnar. That is until primary school, when he met a girl named Hildur and instantly became infatuated with her. He'd admired her throughout school and into adulthood, but never found the courage to make a move, fearing he'd lose his only close friend. However, things changed in 2009 when Hildur got engaged to a man named Hannes. This gave Gunnar the push to do something about his feelings. But given his shy personality, he still couldn't confront Hildur directly. So, in March of 2009, he created a YouTube channel and uploaded his confession on there. Hildur never reciprocated his feelings, but the two remained friends. Even Hannes, Hildur's now husband.
Bro, I'll never understand people that wait that long with the friend zone. Like, nigga, if you're friends with somebody for like longer than a year and you haven't made a move, you're fried. But if you have like some type of crush on them or you like them, or if you wait a year, bro, at that point, it's GG's. Bro, they gonna see you as a friend. Like, you should have made the move like first month or something, bro. Since primary school, yeah, since primary school is crazy, bro. And he waited until she was married. Like, what? If they reject you, it's whatever, yeah. Like, you don't wanna like be waiting and stuff, because then they're gonna see you as a friend too. It's definitely gonna ruin the friendship. It's not a friendship anymore.
Didn't seem to mind Gunnar's company. Something he likely regretted deeply just a year later. It all went down on the 14th of August 2010. Hildur was invited to a party that Gunnar was attending as well. But things got a bit out of hand and Hildur ended up drinking too much and passing out. Given their closeness, the task of getting her home safely was handed to Gunnar. But instead of dropping her off at Hannes' house like he should have, Gunnar took her to his own home. By the time Hildur woke up, it was already morning. She was understandably furious with Gunnar and immediately called one of her friends to drive her home. But nothing could have prepared Hildur for the horrific scene she witnessed on the other side of her front door. Her husband, Hannes, was lying on the top of the staircase near their bedroom, submerged in a pool of his own blood.
What?
She ran outside and called the authorities. Sadly, it was already too late. Hannes had received over 20 stab wounds on his body, from his arms and legs to the back of his neck, and was long dead by the time Hilder found him. Given his condition, his death was ruled a homicide, and investigators wasted no time in looking for the killer. And while they initially suspected one of his business rivals of committing this horrific crime, it didn't take long for investigators to find Gunnar's video confession to Hilder and bring him in for questioning. Gunnar denied knowing anything about it and was eventually let go due to lack of evidence. Fortunately, he got
let go?
Hope was lost, because not long after that, investigators found a bloody shoe print next to Hannes' bed. Looking deeper into this print revealed that it belonged to a pair of limited edition Adidas shoes. At the time, there were only 18 of these specific shoes in all of Iceland, and Gunnar just so happened to own one of these pairs.
Nah, bro got caught because he was trying to have shoe game. He was trying to flex on everybody and have shoe game, and then the nigga got caught. Oh, man. Fucking clown, bro. Yo, it's crazy. As much as I shit on, like, American, the courtroom or whatever, and how much it can fuck up, dude, certain countries, bro, like, here, that would have not happened. They would have immediately found, like, the shoe and different things, bro. Certain countries, bro, they're just no good.
This was enough evidence to detain him once again. This also gave investigators the authority to do a thorough search of his belongings, resulting in them finding residue of Hannes' blood on his shoes, as well as in his car.
Wait, he was a murder suspect. Wait, did the girl even say, like, he killed him? Like, what was going on here? They didn't check his car? I'm just shocked. I'm so lost. Icelandic criminal system is also insane. The max sentence is 16 years. Okay, actually, no. I'm assuming Iceland doesn't have, like, motherfucking, like, guns and stuff like America. But hypothetically, somebody could bring a gun there and mow down, like, 10 people and get 16 years max. It's because Iceland's, like, 400k people, almost no crime. They don't even need that strong of a police force because not everywhere has the same amount of shootings at the U.S. Okay.
Once presented with this evidence, Gunnar confessed to the murder. He also revealed that he'd been planning it for months, and even shoplifted the items he intended to use to avoid purchase records linking back to him. And while he didn't admit to it, Hilder also suspected him of spiking her drink that night, since she usually never passed out like that. After committing the crime, he also drove to a nearby pier and dumped items used in the crime into the sea to get rid of any evidence. It was a well thought out plan, since he was only caught because the garbage bag he used to hide his shoe prints tore open as he walked. As for his motive,
so you wouldn't have got caught?
It was just as everyone had expected, with him making it clear during the investigation, stating,
This was probably the craziest thing to the Icelandic people when that came out. They were like, what? Over here? It's meant for those Americans doing crimes like that, not us.
I loved Hilder. She was supposed to be with me. She was not supposed to be with him. Surprisingly, he was found not guilty during his first trial on March 1, 2011 by reason of insanity stemming from his messed up childhood. However, the
So fucking dumb, bro.
prosecution argued that he was fully aware of his actions and escalated.
I was about to say, he clearly planned it out. Like, first off, that shit that happened with his dad, it was very fucked up, right? But bro, he lived like the next 10 years, 15 years of his life before doing this crime. Like, if he did this crime, I don't know, maybe like a year after or like a couple months, you could say that. No, bro, he waited. He planned this out. Usually if that happens, I go to a mental hospital. Yeah, I already know. I actually hate when like mass shooters get that shit here. Like, I don't give a f, bro. If you mowing down like 10 or 20 people, bro, no, stop. Stop, man, because there's insane people that don't do that. Nigga, there's homeless crackheads on the street we see all the time doing motherfucking dance moves and shit. Goddamn, and they don't do that. You're a different fucking level, bro. Your ass need to get executed, nigga. Like, bro, I wish the fucking American death penalty was faster. You gotta wait like 10 years, man. Dude, if somebody does like a mass shooting or somewhere, bro, and they clearly confess or it's confirmed, get them the fuck out of here, bro, within a week.
Case to the Supreme Court of Iceland. Gunnar was found guilty on this second trial and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. This was already lenient given the brutality of his crime, yet he ended up serving only half of that sentence as well.
8 years. So y'all were right about the 16. Whoever said it was 16 years. Wow. Okay.
He was released under supervision in July 2019 and now works at a local warehouse.
So he's just out and about and free. Hey man, I'ma like this video. That is crazy to me. Oh shit, he's still alive and free this day. The thing is too, like, I do think America's prison system doesn't really help people like mentally through time, but like somebody like that, bro, that maliciously did a crime clearly like that, come on now. His ass should got goddamn 100 years or the executions. But yeah, man, if you're watching on a 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.